Hi, I'm Sharon Abaud, immigration attorney. You are live in the Facebook group Immigration Resources. This video is about the top most frequently asked questions, the top 5 most frequently asked questions for UVisas. I did do this video in Spanish a little bit earlier. This is for my English speakers, doing the same video in English now. Este video sí ya lo hice en español. Si lo quiere ver, ya está en mi página. Lo puede encontrar aquí en esta página de Facebook o en YouTube. Okay, question number 1. I almost did it in Spanish right now. I have been living with my partner who abused me for 4 years. We weren't married. Can I file for a UVisa? Yes, the UVisa it doesn't matter what your relationship was with the person who attacked you. The UVisa is intended for victims of crimes, okay? So if I think that the person who asked me this question, and actually many people have asked me this particular question, I think there's some confusion out there with something called VAWA, and that is, in VAWA, it also helps victims of domestic violence. But with VAWA, you're required to prove that you were married to a U.S. citizen or lawful permanent resident. So perhaps that's where we have that confusion. But yes, most certainly, if you were a victim of violent crime, including domestic violence, you can file for a UVisa, irregardless of whether you were married or not married to the person who abused you. Question number 2, my attorney filed for a work permit with my UVisa. Is this valid? Yes, most certainly. There are several ways to file for a work permit with the UVisa. Maybe like 4 years ago, it used to be that we would file for UVisa and get the approvals within 6 months. So this whole work permit thing, we didn't have to file for work permits back then, not even that long ago. But now we have to file for work permits because there's this long wait time between approval and actually getting the UVisa. So there's a lot of ways of doing this. A lot of attorneys, including myself, I like to file the work permit with the UVisa packet. So the client comes in to sign at the beginning and I have him sign a work permit and I send it off initially because I think it's just better to get out of the way. And once the UVisa is approved, the good thing about doing that is that immigration already has your work permit application, so it speeds things up a little bit more, maybe by like 3 months. But if you file the work permit, after the UVisa approval, it might delay things by a few months. You'll still probably get it approved. It's not going to prevent you from getting approved, but you will. You can still get the work permit with the UVisa. Question number 3. This is my favorite because I literally get this question like 10 times a day, and I try to put it out there as many ways as possible. But this question is definitely my favorite. I filed my UVisa on X date. Tell me when my UVisa is coming. And I know there's a lot of frustration. I completely understand there's a lot of frustration out there because these wait times are kind of ridiculous. I get it. I'm with you. I'm on your team. I can't do anything to speed up immigration processes. And there's other immigration attorneys out there. We're all frustrated about this as much as you are. I understand wanting to know exactly when it's going to come. The best I can do for you is give you an idea. What I can't do is answer every single person exactly when they should be getting their UVisa for 2 reasons. Number 1, I don't have time to be calculating everyone's approximate dates. And number 2, I'm not helping you by doing that because the truth is that if you file a UVisa today I'll tell you, all right, you're going to wait approximately 4 years. And then in 4 years, you're going to come back to me and it might be a 6-year wait, or it might be a 2-year wait and you already had your UVisa. Or I don't know what's going to happen in 4 years. And so when I give you an approximate date today, you end up getting married to that date, you get attached to that date, and you make it yours, and then you get upset when it doesn't come. And that's not the way immigration works. So the best way to stay on top of your case with immigration, and this goes with all types of cases with immigration, is to learn how to track your own case online. So USCIS, I actually have this video on YouTube, and I'm going to put the link below where you can do a I'm going to put the link below where you can do a YouTube, I do an instructional video on how step by step you can check the processing time of your case. I recommend you check in with that website maybe once a month or once every 2 months, and then you get a more accurate idea of how long you have to wait. Number 4, I was the victim of a crime in the United States, but I have since left the country and am outside the United States. Can I apply for a U visa? Yes, most certainly. Please do not think that because you left the country you missed your chance. This is the important thing though, you had to have been a victim of a crime that occurred in the U.S. or U.S. territory. It can't be a crime that occurred to you in another country. So if the crime occurred to you here, you cooperated with law enforcement to the best of your abilities and you qualify in every other way, you can certainly file for a U visa. You just will have to the process will be a little bit different. You'll do your fingerprints abroad clearly, and you will have to wait for U visa approval abroad. So it is a little bit different, but you can certainly still apply for U visa. This also applies to you if you have family members who live abroad. So maybe you're here in the United States, but you have a child under the age of 21 you want to include in this U visa packet. By all means, you can include this person. We will have to schedule an appointment for them to do their fingerprints abroad, depending on the appropriate U.S. embassy or consulate. And number 5, what if I wasn't physically injured? Can I still qualify for a U visa? This is a very, very important question, and I definitely wanted to include this here because I get this asked a lot, and I also think it's important that people understand, no, you do not have had to have been physically injured to qualify for a U visa. There are qualifying crimes on the list that do not necessarily involve physical injury. So for example, homicide is one of them. Well, if you were the victim of the homicide, you wouldn't be applying for the U visa because the person clearly wouldn't be able to be here to apply for that. So it would be someone who wasn't physically injured that would be applying for that benefit. Another way is perhaps another crime that qualifies is criminal threats or what else? Stalking. Those don't necessarily involve physical injury to the person. But if you reported the crime, if it was a crime that you reported, and then there might be psychological or mental trauma that you suffered as a result, those are instances in which you didn't suffer physical injury, like you weren't physically attacked, but that you may still qualify for a U visa. So these are answers to my most frequently asked 5 questions of 2018 for the U visa. If you have any other questions, please let me know, and Happy New Year.